Here, okay.
Is Enrique only coming on Thursdays?
Do bye.
Is Enrique only coming on 8 days?
I don't know what Enrique's deal is. He's
He only comes during lab days.
yeah, because he should be listening to this right now, but he's he's like you said, supposed to come on lab days. All right, so it is September the 10th, and we are going to start our lecture today on demand. But first, we have Bastier's essay on credit, which you, the online student, should read. And I think I asked you to write a summary on that. So we're going to discuss it now as a class, and then we're going to start our lecture. Again, I don't expect to be in class next Tuesday, but I will put out materials with the substitute with things you should study for your test on Thursday. Yeah, we're having a test on Thursday. And that's pretty much it. So Tuesday, I'll let you know what's on your test. Thursday, you have your test. That's really about it. All right, so Bastier is talking about something that's going to actually be, even though he's writing this a couple hundred years ago, give or take, it's something that's going to come up time and time again today. So, let me get me a copy. Oh, wait, there it is.
Based is heck. No, I'm not a big fan of this dude.
Both fairly
All right.
Really bragging on. Yeah. I mean, this dude's a beast. This is making things pretty fast.
All right, now the first part he's talking about after France has yet another change of government. This isn't the original French Revolution where you had like guillotines and stuff. But don't worry, they will have another. But so he's talking here, and the main point has to do with the borrowers. Whenever you have the guys William, James, and Peter. So what's the story about these guys? What you got, Michael? Yes.
pretty much, sorry, I forgot their names.
Hey, now let's listen.
Peter pretty much has a plow, but
Yeah.
he doesn't want to lend it out. And James is willing to lend money. William actually uses the money to buy the plow. That was the original story.
Yeah.
But in this case, if Peter was actually willing to lend it out and lend my money, he would trust James since he has more credit or
He's
credit.
a good character, right?
Yeah, he has good credit. He has good character, good possibilities. So he gives it to James. Oh no, the big socialist guardman walks in and says, you have to share your toys. And pretty much Peter has to give his plow to William.
Okay.
And then
Yeah.
my man, the other guy just screwed over.
So before y'all start, so okay, you have somebody who has a plow. You have two other guys who want to borrow it. One of them is trustworthy. The other is not. And so, like you said, the authorities step in, and to make it fair, they allow the less trustworthy person to borrow it. Is that where we're at right now?
Yeah.
Okay. So they're doing this to be fair, but then he mentions the seen and the unseen.
The unseen.
So what is seen? Somebody.
The untrustworthy guy getting the plow.
Yeah, so that's good. He gets to be a productive person. Hooray him.
It
But what's
seems
the
good.
unseen? What's the bad thing?
The trustworthy guy doesn't get anything, even though he can actually.
Because things are finite,
I can
right?
actually help the dude that did
Yeah.
it well. Because in this scenario, there's only one plow in the entire country.
Only one, but that's supposed to represent something. Because there's only so many resources, remember? He says a country only has so many plows, so many houses, so many cows, so many other things. And that's true. For if you remember when we were talking about scarcity, everything that people want has the quality of being scarce. It's not infinite. There's always going to be a limitation. And the same can go from everything like catch up to cell phones, right? There's only a limited amount of materials to make these things to fulfill people's desires. And cash is one of those. Cash, which comes from labor, is one of those limiting things. And so he's saying because it's limited, the other guy, what about the guy with good credit? good character. What happens to him?
Now
he's
you get
at
a pop,
top.
you get all his crops.
Yeah, so because he didn't fit the category they favored, he was the loser. Does he think that's fair? Does he think it's justice? No. So he's like, I worked hard to do the right thing, but I'm losing because I didn't fit the right category. Well, see, that's the thing. What he's saying here is that regulation on credit, the way that it is in France at this time, is picking who will get, who will not get on criteria that he's saying is unjust. And he does say that he thinks that his government does have a place in managing credit. What is that? Anybody catch that? It's at the very end.
There is one conclusion, however, which I would not for the world be suspected of drawing. I say that the law ought not to favor artificially the power of borrowing, but I do not say it is ought to restrain them artificially. If in our system of mortgage or in any other there be obstacles to the diffusion of the application of credit, let them be got rid of.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing can be better or more just than this.
So his opinion is to get rid of the obstacles of credit. So he's saying you should get rid of things that artificially stop this form of trade. Because he's saying that taking a loan isn't a loan for money, it's for the object that you actually want. So when you take a housing loan, you're not actually taking a loan for the cash, you're taking a loan for the house. And that's why a bank repossesses the house whenever it's time, like if you like skip out on payments, like Landry was saying. They don't take the cash because the cash is already spent. So okay, very good, folks. Hey, it's probably gonna be the last one we're gonna have for a couple of weeks, since I might give you another little something, but I'd like to move on to another author. We are going to revisit Bastiat later for government class too. We'll see. I've been kind of thinking there's so many good ones for government though. I don't know. We'll see. Hey, so let's go ahead and let's get a few lecture notes, and then after we go through this for a bit, if time allows, I'll let y'all have some study hall time at the end of class and all that stuff. So, all right, so this is another topic in microeconomics. Remember, microeconomics have to do with how people or businesses exchange, not necessarily governments, though you will find that supply and demand have a big impact on how governments react as well. So demand is, this is how the consumer influences how much money a business can make. So a demand is what we want. We demand that we get it. It's a need. It's like there's a high demand for, like y'all were saying, like iPhones, right? Like there's such a high demand that even you have people who in ordinary circumstances wouldn't be able to afford it, really want it. It's a high demand item. So demand is the title. So economics, kind of like the sciences, say that they have laws, right? And one of the laws of economics is the law of demand. And so as a price increases, demand decreases. So if you start arbitrarily increasing the price of a commodity, people are going to buy less of it. And if people buy less of it, that's a good indicator the demand is down, the desire is down. Kind of like everybody wants, there's a lot of things everybody wants. Like everybody wants, like a Lamborghini, right? But not everybody wants to pay Lamborghini price,
And I think you can actually find things because most companies try to find the very thin line between where the price is really good for them and it's also seen as very good for the consumer, therefore demand is high.
Yeah, and that's why they do that, to maximize profit. And we will see how that plays out later as we move on. We'll see how companies like to.
So
They have to be good at managing these two. All right, so as the price decreases, the demand generally increases. So y'all need to know this. This will be on your test. So you're going to have to know the law of demand. We will go through examples of this later to where once we start doing our projects. Hey guys. All right, there you go. So hey, so the thing is, once we get the computer part, I'm going to have you start doing projects. One of them is going to be, you have to know the relationships, supply, demand. And like I mentioned the other day, one of them is going to be, I'm going to give each of you economic systems for governments, and you're going to essentially educate us on them. So some of you are going to get a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and it's going to be okay. Huh? Oh my gosh.
Back in 8th grade, Michael, do you remember at Innovation where we had to make our own country from this part of us?
Yeah, I still have my papers. I got 100 on that one.
How about we have a chance to make our own country, and
This-
along with that, we can make our own currency, economics.
That sounds like a good thing for maybe like an end of the year project at the end of government. So you could have government and economics tie in. Maybe. But I'm telling you, one of the hardest things to do, like if I asked you, hey, write a perfect constitution, usually it looks just like the American Constitution. Or this is going to blow your mind, or it'll look like Soviet Russian Constitution. I'm not lying, because the Soviet Russian Constitution promised everything. And I mean everything. So it looked really nice on paper.
And
Yeah.
if we do that at the end of the year, you should like put like cards or something where it says access to river, landlocked, and coastal. You should have those three cards, and we just go up and pick. In other words, we
We'll see.
either have landlocked with no access to any rivers.
Mhm.
We have access to one river over coastal. And then that's the little challenge that we have to use.
Man, Michael, your creativity level is so much higher than mine. All right, so all right. So, economists really love themselves some graphs. So, hey, do y'all take? Is there statistics in this school?
No.
Yeah, because that was like the only math I was good at was statistics. And I said,
Yeah, we would have all been decent.
all right. Well,
Freak out.
statistics is very important for things like if you want to go into medicine, psychology, history, economics. It's pretty. Statistics is pretty good for like what we call real world math, what most people use. So,
Yeah, really.
I'm not trying, but what you are learning is the kind of math that's really going to make things like that
Did you
easy.
do a statistics class?
No, because I don't remember it. I
No,
can
the
remember how to
kind of
read
math that
it.
we're learning-
I can read a chart. I can read a graph.
Mr. White, the kind of math that we usually kind of people fail when we stand in the teacher.
Well, okay, I said that I was kind of tongue in cheek. That was a pithy remark I made. But I mean, the cool thing about y'all taking this now is that a lot of those fields still require them. So if you want to go into nursing and stuff like that, you're going to have to know some calculus and stuff. If you want to get into engineering, most sciences, you got to have a strong math background. And you're already getting that now.
Doesn't give you a strong math.
It's better than what I would do. Because I would just, I don't know what I would do. Because I'm so terrible at math.
Yeah, we really don't.
I'm sorry. I can't help that. But if I knew, no, okay, I better stop. All right, kids. So back to this, the demand curve. So, like I was trying to say, in economics, they really love Logan. They really love charts and graphs and things like that, so they can notice trends on whether things are going in a certain direction, so that they can make a good prediction. The demand curve is one of these. This is a graph that illustrates the demand for a product. So it shows that relationship between where if you change the price of something, the demand either increases or decreases. And by doing so, this is how companies can figure out that fine line you were talking about on finding the perfect price for a commodity. But in modern markets, that's not fixed. The price might have to change weekly, sometimes daily. Look at gasoline. Gas prices go up and down daily. They rarely stay the same for too long. And this has to go with also with another thing we call supply, which we'll talk about later in a couple of weeks.
I think there's been a lot of news coming out recently about a specific game company by the name of Nintendo.
Oh, artificial, yeah.
Yeah, they're artificially causing scarcity because the thing they're doing is creating a very popular, not creating a very popular game, putting three of the most popular games into
I'm sorry, Michael, I can't hear you. These guys over here, hey, that's second strike. I'm about to move all of you. So
three
yeah.
most popular games: Super Mario, Sunshine, Super Mario 64, Super Mario Galaxy. One port, which is going to be one of the biggest things of all time. They're only letting it go from November to March. And another thing is, they can also just, even the digital sales, which you don't need physical copies for, will also go off sale in March.
Okay. Yeah, Disney used to do that too. Like back when there was VHS and the DVDs, but you couldn't stream stuff, they would release certain movies for like a limited time. Like for this month only, Cinderella, you know.
Did they do it like every 7 years, I think?
It was something like it. Yeah, they said release from the vault, you know. So and like the prices would be jacked up compared to like other movies and stuff.
Because my mom was telling me that they used to do that because back, a long time ago, they wouldn't show movies like more than once in theaters for the most part. I mean,
Yeah, for the most
sometimes they
part.
would.
Unless you
But,
went to a little janky downtown one.
Yeah, but Disney would like re-release their movies in theaters every 7 years.
Yeah.
And so they kept doing that with VHS and DVD.
So yeah, you got it while you could, and it would make people go buy them up as fast as they could because they're like, I don't know when my next chance is. Yeah.
Well, they would.
He had his hand up. Yeah.
So we're talking about supply and demand, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But, well, this conversation, I know we're.
Okay.
Well, one of the games that was kind of buying way back then, like Russian Evil Secrets, but I know it's mail.
Okay.
In the store, it was like $60, and then I did the research to see why this game's so expensive.
Uh-huh.
Turns out there are people, even though this game came out like about 20, almost 19, almost 20 years ago, people still play it like tournament wise, like everything. People stream it and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, even my wife plays
And
Smash
then,
Brothers.
and I was like, well, that makes sense because it's like the same price as like freaking Call of
But
Duty.
prices-
It was Call of Duty.
Online is actually, did you buy it online or in the store?
No, like at Game Exchange, it was like $60, but even online it's $60.
The reason it's online for $60 or more than the actual price, scalpers.
Yeah.
They'll buy up all stock and resell it for even higher.
Well, you
No,
see,
this was Amazon. This was Amazon and Nintendo. It was the seller was Nintendo.
yeah, honestly, I'm not sure why. Probably because they say that you have more security, so you can get it back later. All right, so moving back on. So here's an example of demand curve. Here you can see that it's shown in both a chart and a graph, a line graph. So you'll see here you have price per bottle in dollars, and then you have bottles of apple juice per week. So if it goes up to $2, they only sell 50 bottles. However, if the price goes down to $1,
Wait, why?
it goes to 800. I don't know. That graph's kind of
1.5.
jacked. So, okay, yeah, like $1.50, I guess we'll call it, or $1.25 maybe. So you see, you're trying to find the perfect price point. And see, then from there, you try to calculate, okay, now if I only sell 50 bottles for $2 each, I make $100 this week. However, if I sell it for like a little over $1, I can sell 800 and just like bank out like that. So then you're gonna like, I don't know, $1,000 or something.
Truthfully, a little bit under $1. I bet the like $1 was 50 cents, $2 was.
You know, you're probably right. You're probably right. I didn't make this, by the way. This curve illustrates the quantities of apple juice demanded at each price by all consumers in the market. So here on the right, we see there's the literal prices. Yeah, see, so they're saying here 75 cents you'll sell 800. But $2, you sell 50. So what you're trying to do is then you have to do a calculation to figure out which one has the total best profit, right? And so that's something that all markets try to do. You try to find that most profit for you personally. All right, the elasticity of demand. So elasticity, of course, means, like flexibility. The degree to which changes in price causes changes in demand. So not all changes in a price will cause the same. So what we're saying is it's not always 1-for-1 ratio. Sometimes like 10 cents in the low region might be a big change, but 10 cents in the high region won't. So like, I don't know, if you're selling like baseballs and you're selling it for $1 or $1.10, it's a 10% difference. But if you have high quality baseballs and they're going from like $10 or $10.10, it's not a big difference. Nobody cares. So if we change the price, will demand change a lot or a little? So, and of course that makes sense. I mean, there's certain items where like you were talking about phones, like some models of phones are almost the same price. So that small difference doesn't make or break a lot of deals. Same thing for like appliances, right? You tend to have appliances or different quality appliances are in their own brackets of generally how much they cost. You got the low end, you got the high end, and you got the ones in the middle. And the variances are pretty small. However, sometimes you might have large sales or liquidating stock, and then you'll see a big difference. And then you'll see the demand change pretty quickly. So the degree to which changes in price cause changes in demand. So let's go to the next one. Elastic demand. If demand for a good is very sensitive to changes in price, the demand is elastic. So what we're saying is if, let me think about this. Like one thing I like to think of is like red meat. So like steak prices, when they go up even a little bit, you see that people buy a lot less of it. But if the price goes down, people are like try to stock up on it, right? Try to fill up that freezer. So that's an elastic demand.
Well, one thing that I heard, like with Black Friday and stuff, that they'll raise the price before it.
Yes.
And then so it looks like a huge sale, but it's really not that much more.
You're
than
right.
the price.
Yeah.
So, but wouldn't that increase the demand by raising the price, basically?
It's because they're trying to artificially do it. What they're trying to do is they're trying to show you that price drop, the artificial one later, and you're like, whoa, cool. And a lot of times too, a lot of Black Friday stuff is stuff that's been in a warehouse for a couple of years, and it's like old, and ordinarily it wouldn't have sold well anyways, like printers and TVs and stuff that's kind of a little not dated, but it's been out long enough, so they're just trying to get rid of that stock, because it costs money to keep things in storage. I mean, you got to pay people to watch it, the facilities, electricity, and stuff.
Walmart doesn't care about that. They're losing so much money in their stores. They're sending you a free extra TV.
Yeah, that's a shipping problem there. They got some cakes there. Yeah, I got an extra TV and extra 65-pound kettlebell. So it's like you're like.
I bet the shipping on that was expensive for that.
Not for me, because it was something like what you pay over like $20, whatever you get free shipping. So got it. All right, if prices, but yeah, the mailman was mad at me. All right,
It was what?
he was mad at me. He was like, "Why did you have this?" I don't know. I didn't understand that one.
What
All right.
are they?
Well, he had to get it out. And he's like, "Ah!"
Well, what's a dead weight?
A kettlebell?
Or no, wait, never mind. What?
It's those weights over there. Yeah, if prices change a little bit, demand will change a lot. So, like we said. Yeah, those things. All right, examples of elastic demand. Price of pizza goes up even a little bit, demand goes down a lot. Is that true?
I would
Yeah.
think so.
I thought.
Because think about like Little Caesars. You know how they're famous for their $5 pizzas, right?
Yeah.
One's been up to $6.
Oh.
It's I said $5. What happens if it goes up $6?
Oh yeah. People get pretty miffed about that. I bet. Yeah. Or like my wife got really mad whenever like they raised the price of the value meal or something like that at McDonald's. She was like, what? She noticed that 5 cents or whatever, you know. So
I memorize the price of my favorite thing to eat at McDonald's, right?
you just bring exact change, like in
Now it's
pennies.
raised, and I'm just like, what is this?
I bring in $5.42 every single time I go into the Little Caesars.
Yeah. Oh.
That even changes a little bit. What?
No pizza for you, I guess. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Yeah. So elastic demand curve for pizza. The curve is flat. It's like a straight ratio there. See? So there you go. The price point, $15. They only sell like, why did they put the numbers in the middle? I guess 100. And then if you sell them $10 each, you sell 600 pizzas. Hooray. Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Why are all these graphs made so poorly?
I'm going to tell you, a teacher made them, and I got them from the teacher. So
What?
I don't know. Is that on the internet? So I looked at it first, and I was like, these are pretty good. Yeah, sure. Okay. They're not like make money off of them good, but they work. All right. Here's the last one for the day. Inelastic demand. Demand for a good that consumers will continue to buy despite price increase is inelastic. So there are certain things you just got to have. And if the price goes up, you're still going to do it. Like of course, gas is one of those things you have, especially here in East Texas, you have to have a certain amount of gas to live your life. Otherwise, you don't go to work. You know, electric bills are one of those, right? You got to have power on, especially in the summer. I guess a lot of people make the case that their data plans are like that. The data plan goes up, still got to pay it. Yeah, I think of bills, really. Medication. Yeah, like if you need that heart pill or you're not waking up next week, yeah, you're going to pay it.
But what if you don't care? You never will.
That's a whole nother topic. That's not an economic problem. That's a psychological problem.
Welcome to Suddenlink Mobile Internet Connection.
I get so many spam calls every day
I
now.
hope Suddenlink dies.
Suddenlink isn't a person, sir.
My family works at something.
Huh.
I hope somebody takes a gun and kills somebody.
That's enough of that, y'all.
Well, it's
You may.
impossible. It's obviously
Okay, I was just going to show you all the examples and then we're going to be done. So this shows that the ratio is a bit off. So if the other one was linear, this one must be nonlinear. Sublinear. Is that a term?
Yeah,
Oh. I was thinking nonlinear.
non-linear.
Yeah, there we go.
Sub-non-linear.
Sub nonlinear.
Sub perhaps linear.
Sub nonlinear esque.
Sub might could.
Perhaps linear.
Could have prefixes and suffixes.
Perhaps
Ish.
linear. Oh, that's great.
Oh,
No, not like that.
All right, kids, let's look at our examples and we'll be done for today. So if the price of soap goes up a lot, the demand stays almost the same. Well, I mean, you don't want to be nasty, right?
Well, why don't you just make your own soap? That's like $2,000.
Who's gonna make their own soap?
I know people
The-
do.
What? Like, do they slaughter their own hogs and cook the lye off of them and stuff? I mean, it's like, all right. So here we go. It's steep. Oh, it looks linear still. Okay, so $3, you're selling 30. $1, you're selling 40. So wow. Okay, yeah. Yay soap.
But like, maybe I just have weird friends.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I do weird stuff. Like We all have our
Most of my
hobbies.
friends are ragtime musicians. I have one friend that's a ragtime mortician. Ramona Baker draws the art of gay ragtime pianists for a living. Like, I have some strange friends.
A ragtime mortician. Is it like a religious preference?
No, he's like a mortician, like
Uh-huh.
dead bodies and stuff, and plays ragtime.
Oh, okay. Does he think they listen to this? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. All right, kids. So you've got about 15 or so minutes. You may use the rest of your time if you have homework or something you need to do in a class. I'm sure you have classes besides this one.
No, I don't have any other classes.
Well, welcome to school.
We don't have any other classes that we care about, Mr. Minor.
There you go. That's. Ooh, man. I'm not even trying. That makes me sad.
It makes you sad?
Yeah.
I think you got the best class.
Yeah, I know, but I said I'm not even trying. Yeah.
School year.
Can I have my backpack back? Can you?
Yes, take your backpack back.
That's Joe's backpack.
Oh, no, later, can you have a backpack back?
Where'd you go?
No. Oh. All right, folks, we're going to end the stream and we'll have class again. You aren't supposed to be in this. I'll let you know about your test stuff later, and we're going to post it on Tuesday. Bye. I forgot to turn that on.